since we went live, right?
Yeah, since before the ice storm.
Uh-huh.
Who's that? I hear a cat.
It's Hirsch.
It's Hirsch.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Hirsch.
Hi, Hirsch. There's your Hershey.
That's our
Hey,
boy.
buddy.
Dirty Hirsch. Cutie.
He's dirty, all right.
Cutie. All right, I assume you can hear. It says one watching, and that's me, because I figured I could put it up over here and see if anyone comments, which I don't think's probably going to happen. And that's okay, because we just like gabbing.
Yeah, totally.
We don't need an audience
But
to
what
gab.
if someone commented? That would be so cool.
It would be cool. So I'm going to put it here.
You never know. You
just
never
so
know.
I'll see it. But, all right, how are you doing today, me love?
I'm doing well today. I kind of didn't really accomplish that much today, which doesn't always feel great, but at the same time, it's kind of like, today was kind of like my day off, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I accomplished a lot at work. I didn't accomplish anything else, but productive work day. So I'll take that. Whoa.
Yeah, that was weird.
Guess there's some springs
This
in here.
thing is old.
No, I'm actually very tired today. I could not fall asleep last night. Like, I was, like,
Yeah,
tossing and
that's
turning. I don't know. You seemed to be out, but
I
could not fall asleep.
I've just been sleepy today. Like, I took a nap today, and I barely ever do that.
yeah. Yeah, you did take a nap. I will be going to bed immediately after this, so.
Really?
For the most part, yeah. Probably clean up and go to bed.
Can we, like, watch Love is Blind on the iPad while we go
Love
to sleep,
is Blind
though?
is back, and we are
Or
binging
are
it.
you saying, like, you're just done?
No, I'm down to do it on the iPad. I just, like,
Okay.
I need to sleep.
No,
I,
yeah,
like,
for sure,
I remember rolling over blind as a bat because I need contacts and didn't have my glasses on, and I, like, squinted at the clock, and it was, like, 2:45 or something, and I still hadn't fallen asleep.
Oof, that is rough, babe.
I know.
Did you have caffeine late in the day or something?
No, I don't know if anyone else does this. No, I'm sure a lot of people do. Like, when you lay down and you just start thinking about all the things you need to do and that
Oh,
you want to
yeah.
be doing, and so my mind just started, like, racing, like, oh, I need to do that. Oh, I really need to do that. Like, work stuff especially. So I just started thinking about a bunch of stuff that I needed to get done with work. And I just, like,
Yeah.
was trying to, like, slow my brain down to go to sleep. It doesn't matter. I just struggled to fall asleep, so I'm very tired. But it works out because today we're talking about Sid's coming out story.
Yes.
So she's going to do most of the talking today, and I'm just going to ask questions.
Yeah.
So I don't really know that there needs to be an introduction. I think you should just
I think
take us along the
let's
journey.
just get right into it.
Yeah.
So when I was like about 6 years old, no,
I
just kidding.
was gonna say, I love that we're starting
No,
so young.
I think we need to start with this story because this memory is really meaningful to me, and I think it's a really good indicator that oftentimes we do, like, we maybe are aware of these things in ourselves when we are really young, but then we see and hear certain things that I think cause us to oftentimes just, like, push that down and, like, not even look at it as an option maybe. But anyway, when I was probably like 6 years old, I was at the library with my mom. And have I already told this story on this?
No, I mean, you
feel
told
like
it to
I've,
me,
like,
but
talked about this.
No.
Like,
no, when would you have talked about it on
I
here?
don't know. I just feel like I did.
Well, you're hearing it again.
Okay, well, this is only just a short little story. This isn't like the real thing. But yeah, I went to the library with my mom, and I just picked out a book and we started reading it there. And as we got, kind of halfway through the book or so, my mom was just like, we're actually gonna, like, put this book down. Like, we're not gonna finish this one. And to preface, my mom, this is back in, like, oh man, this would have been probably like 2004 or something. And my mom has, like, come so far and is supportive of me and our relationship. So
Yeah, that's not the important part.
that's not the important part. I just want to clarify that, okay?
Yeah.
But so she's like, we're gonna actually, like, not finish this book. And I was like, well, why? And because I guess it was a book that was about two male penguins at a zoo, and the zoo like gave them an egg or something like that so they could have a baby.
Yeah, just here you go.
Yeah, and so, you know, the penguins were gay,
Yeah.
right? And so I didn't really understand. My mom like explained it to me in some way. And then I remember we were in the car after, and I was like, well, I want to marry a girl. And I mean, that doesn't mean a whole lot when you're 6 years old. Like,
but still.
it could mean that you're gay, or it could mean that you just like think boys have cooties. But I feel like in my little brain, it did mean something.
I mean, it
So-
ended up meaning something.
Anyways. So
I
I
love
said that, and my mom was like,
story.
no, you're not. And I was like,
LOL.
I mean, I want to, like, she's like, that's not really, like, what God wants. And I was like, that's weird, but okay.
It's what I want.
It's,
Hey, Hirsch.
if it's not what God intended, why do it go so hard? But,
Trudeau.
so, yeah, that is Hershey. When's Hirsch gonna come out? It's okay, whenever you're ready.
Hirsch is maybe gay.
He is. So yeah, that's a story from my early childhood.
That's so funny. Like, it's like foreshadowing in a way. Does your mom remember it? Have you ever brought it up?
I've brought it up to her, and I think that she said that she couldn't remember it.
That's so...
I need to ask her again.
Yeah. It's just funny. Yeah, little things like that.
Yeah.
That in the moment didn't obviously mean anything, but
Yeah.
fast
No,
forward, like, wow, that's kind of funny.
Yeah. No, I think so.
I wish I had a little gay story like that, but I don't.
Yeah.
So fast forward from the library.
So fast forward from being 6 years old, I went on to have like really intense crushes on guys.
Oh, and guys, okay.
Yeah, like in like late middle school, high school. It was like, I think it was more so I kind of enjoyed like the idea of having a crush, and like the act of having a crush, like talking about it with my mom, talking about it with my friends, like writing about it in my journal, like whatever, you know? But when it came down, like the guy that I really liked in middle school, like early high school, he asked me to homecoming my freshman year, and like the whole time we were there, I was just so icked out. Like, I was so icked out, but it was just so confusing because it was like, this is the guy that I've like pined over and like talked. Like, I know my mom was so sick of me talking about him because I talk about him all the time.
Well, at least you liked him until you were icked out.
Well, it's like I liked him, and he was a really he was like a good kid. He wasn't, you know, he was a nice guy.
I feel like it could go one way or the other. Like, you're either talking like boy crazy, talking about boys like crazy, or you're just like do not care, not talking about them. Oh, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was definitely,
Boy
I
crazy.
guess, a little boy crazy.
You know, I could see
Yeah.
that. Knowing what I know
Yeah.
about you, I could see that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That was offensive. I'm just kidding.
We'll talk about that off camera.
But yeah, so that was like, and then in high school, I think like end of my freshman year, or maybe it was I can't remember, maybe my sophomore year, I got a boyfriend, not that guy, a different guy. Yeah, I got a boyfriend, and I like definitely really liked him. Like, I guess like I think I was too young to be in love, but like I definitely like loved him like as a person. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just such a young, anyway, dated him, and like in that relationship was like kind of introduced to like sexual stuff, not like going all the way, but like
Not like sex.
but like stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I was just really opposed to anything that had to do with going anywhere near his business. Like, I was like, I don't want to see it. I don't want, like, it was just, I was not. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of young girls feel that way, even if they're not gay. Like, I know my best friend in high school, Maggie, was, like, so opposed to...
I think that has a lot to do with how you guys were brought up, though.
Probably, yeah.
I think when you're in the church, or whether a lot of times it's religious, but if you're being told constantly that having sex before marriage is bad, it's gonna make you not feel like you're not allowed to do it or whatever.
True. Okay, well, so after I dated him for like a year and a half, and then we broke up, and around that time I started like drinking here and there. I didn't party.
How old were you?
Like 16.
Okay.
I didn't go to parties, mainly because I wasn't invited to any. Because, like, well, actually, I did get invited to a few parties, but I wasn't allowed to go to them.
Right.
But also, I was homeschooled, so, like, the parties I would get invited to were very few and far between, because the homeschoolers weren't really having parties like that.
I was gonna say, it's funny that you say you weren't allowed to go to them. I feel like a lot of times a party like that, a kid wouldn't tell their parent about that party. They would just find a way to go there.
I just didn't really have a means to do that.
Yeah, for like a ride.
Because I don't know, like my best friend, like our moms were close, and like they would have figured it out. Although she was allowed to go to parties when she got invited. I don't know. All that to say, this is off topic. I didn't really party, but I did start to drink at friends' houses because a lot of my friends, older siblings, would like get them alcohol, and we would just have sleepovers and drink.
That's a safer way to be introduced to alcohol, though. To just do it inside someone's home and not like with your friends. Like that's
totally.
That's like a good. It's probably like a good first
the
way to drink.
Hello. We still don't have a photo in there.
I know.
That's
we need
crazy.
to put one. I know. This is a work in progress. Okay.
No, I know. Yeah. Anyway, so I remember the first time I ever drank was at a sleepover with Maggie and then two of our other friends that we were close with. And in high school, my friends, I started watching it because of them, but they were a lot more into it than me. Were really into Pretty Little Liars. And so when we were like, I remember I'm like having my first alcoholic beverage ever, and the
watching
girls,
Pretty Little Liars.
No, we're not watching
Oh,
it.
okay.
We were just talking about it, and the girls are like, oh my god, like if we were the Pretty Little Liars, like who would we be? And in my head I'm like, I'm so Aria, even though like I don't know why I thought that. I just liked her, and I think I thought she was hot,
Yeah.
and so I was like,
you were
I'm her.
attracted to her.
But like my friends were just talking, they were like, who would be Emily? Oh my god, totally Sydney.
And for people who haven't watched, Emily is the gay one on the show.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah.
And I was just like, wait, really? Like, why do you think I'm her? And they were like, if any of us were going to be the gay one, it would obviously be you. And I was like, what? And
that's so funny to me.
One other detail that I'm like remembering now that I think is important. It's not my coming out story, but I think it's all really funny.
Yeah.
In high school, I, like, you know, when you are younger, maybe some of us still do it occasionally now. Like, you sometimes will make up scenarios in your head and like have pretend conversations.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really do it anymore, but like I definitely did a lot when I was younger.
That's cute.
Okay, well, you know what?
No,
I think
it is cute.
As embarrassing as it is, like I think a lot of people have done that.
I mean that in a like genuine way. Like that's
Okay.
really cute. Like
Okay.
picturing little you having like playing out scenarios in your head.
One of the scenarios that I had like played out in my head was that like there was a rumor that I was gay Why did I do this? I don't know. And I remember like being in my room like, no, it's like crazy rumor. Like I'm not gay. Cause I didn't think that I was. Like I was like, no, like what the heck?
That's so interesting.
And then I had a really close friend early high school. This was actually when I was dating my boyfriend, I think. But really close guy friend, and I think like started to like me and like kind of attempted to tell me that he liked me, but then somehow, I don't remember how it happened, but somehow in the midst of that, he was like, well, I think that you like Maggie. Like I see the way that like you interact with her, and I just want to let you know that like if you, I don't know if it was, I think it was kind of a thing of like, well, she doesn't like me, so maybe it's because of this.
Yeah, she doesn't like me because she likes someone else. It couldn't be because of me. It's just because she likes someone else kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't know, cause that one I do find interesting, cause like genuinely I never saw Maggie like that. She was my best friend.
Yeah, I
And,
never had
like,
crushes on anyone around me either.
Maggie was not surprised when I like told her that I liked girls, but unless
That's
I'm like
so
unaware of
funny.
something, I don't think she ever felt like, you know, like uncomfortable or felt like I like was attracted to her or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
I
just
would love.
wasn't the vibe. Like just because you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I would love to talk to some of your, or like even Maggie. We hopefully we'll have a visit at some point.
Yeah.
And I would love to talk to her, but like, cause that's funny. Like, what were you doing that was like giving that off to her?
I don't really know. I
What
think
what
it
was
was
the
just my
energy?
vibe. And
Just
honestly,
the gay vibe.
I doubt that she thought that I was gonna turn into like a full-on lesbian. I think maybe she, like, when I came out to her, it was like I came out as bi, and I
Yeah.
think she was like, oh yeah, I can totally see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, all that to say, this guy was like, well, if you like have feelings for her, like it's okay. And of course, I got really defensive because I was like, number one, I have a boyfriend as we're having this conversation. But number two, I don't like my best friend.
Yeah.
So anyway, that happened. But that was just like another funny thing where I don't know. It was weird. So then
Just
like
accusations left and right.
accusations left and fucking
right.
right, dude. And but it's just funny because I wasn't like, I just think sometimes when there's a vibe, there's a vibe.
I just think it's funny that, yeah, I don't know. Not to get into my coming out story because that's for next week, but I just can't. I can recall there being conversations surrounding like gay or whatever because that was like such kind of like a slur that was used commonly back when I was in high school.
When
But I
you
don't
say
remember-
that's so gay, do you realize what you say?
Hillary Duff is a real one for that.
Yes.
But no, I can't remember there being conversations. There may have been like conversations with people in my life that I wasn't present for about maybe talking about like wondering if I was gay, but I don't have a recollection of it. So it's just funny that it was
Yeah.
like brought up to you like
I think it's funny though because like I think there are also plenty of people that watched me grow up that were shocked when I came out.
yeah.
Like my mom and my stepdad being two of those people because they witnessed me like talk about boys so much, and like
Mhm.
by the time I came out, like I had had like a couple of relationships with guys, and then I had had like a handful of guys that I had like really liked and talked about a lot, whatever.
Yeah, well have always been more femme presenting, and
Yeah.
movies like depictions of lesbians is always like very butch and masculine
That's
for
true.
the most part. So I think I think a lot of people would have been like someone like me coming out who's always dressed kind of this vibe, played sports growing up. It's a little less shocking when someone that looks
Yeah.
like me comes out versus someone who is like femme for the like
I will
looks
say though,
straight.
when I was a kid, like probably from the time I would say like age 5 or 6, I was like, no, I don't want to wear dresses. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And then, like, one day I remember I decided to wear a dress to school, and I was so uncomfortable the whole day. Like, all I wanted to do was go home and change.
Yeah.
And, like,
Hate
now
dresses.
I wear skirts and dresses sometimes, but I'm, like, really particular about it. Like, it has to be a very specific type of outfit. It also has to be a specific type of day. Because there's some days when I wake up and I'm like, oh, no, you couldn't pay me to put on a skirt today.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but I think
Anyway.
it's cool to do both.
but still, yes, like, generally, I've always been, like, pretty feminine presenting.
Yeah.
And so, anywho,
So lots of
in high
accusations from
school,
people around
lots of
you.
accusations. And then after I was not with my high school boyfriend anymore, I had gotten really close with a friend, who we would just have, like, one-on-one sleepovers quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then, like, as time went by, it would be like, hey, I got a box of wine. Like, let's...
I got some
Well,
Franzia.
that-
I got a Boda.
Yeah, no, you literally, yeah. So, yeah, I started having sleepovers with her, and, like, I don't really remember how it started, but we just would, like, make out, like, get drunk and make out,
It's
basically.
like my favorite. I love that you did that so much. I love that is part of your story. That you
Well,
got to be the
and
little church kid, religious family
it
who
was just so
making
funny
out at
because
sleepovers.
I was doing this, but I, like, wasn't acknowledging that it was something, like, it would happen obviously when we were drinking,
Yeah.
and then, like, it wasn't really like it was something that was ever discussed afterwards.
And it's not like y'all were talking like a couple or trying to be a couple.
No.
You were
And
just like
genuinely,
experimenting.
like, that situation too, I feel like I can, like, neither of us ever had feelings for each other. It was
Yeah.
purely, like, experimental.
Yeah, and obviously
Um,
there's no need to use names. Is this person queer now?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it
yeah.
checks out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Okay. So yeah, that happened a bunch of times, and then I had another friend who it happened once with.
How old were you? What age are we at? Like, do you have your
Like,
driver's license?
this was from, yeah, I mean, yeah.
You were driving yourself
this
over to
started
this
at
friend's house?
about 16, because 16 was when my boyfriend and I broke up. So then it started at about 16, and it was, like, sporadic, but it never really stopped. Like, it just kept going.
That's like how regular? Like, were you talking like once a month, or were y'all like weekly? Like,
No,
let's spend the night every weekend.
No. It was probably, like, once a month at most.
Okay.
Like, every other month maybe. And then, like, there was another friend who it happened with one time. She is not queer. She was just having fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know.
You were just making out with
She was just,
everybody.
Listen, no, it was 2 girls.
I know. I'm
It was
just kidding.
It was
I'm
only
just,
2 girls.
I'm just thinking back to like my experience, like having sleepovers and stuff, and like that was never even like
on the table.
yeah, it was never even like
Yeah.
close to being talked about or
Well,
like an
listen,
option.
I don't think it ever would have happened if we hadn't been drinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
if you hadn't been
maybe.
drinking along with having some like stuff going on
Yeah.
behind in your brain, like
yeah.
that kind of is seeping out like as you feel more like you have less of a filter with your booze, with your
Yeah.
Boda box.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't even a Boda Box,
I
babe.
know,
Like, it
I'm
was
just
like
kidding.
a Franzia.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like a cheap,
No,
cheap.
I know.
So, anyways, that would happen sporadically. And then I remember one time, summer after high school. Yeah, it was the summer after high school. And I was dating this trash can. This dude who, like, honestly, like, bless him, like, you know, he went through some hard shit, but he was such a tool. And our relationship was, we won't even go into it, but it was just not a good, it was a very brief relationship, but it was a very coercive relationship. And that was like how I was really introduced to like doing more physical things with guys.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I had already like gotten somewhat physical with another girl. But that was like, even though I don't think I was like registering it, that just like kind of felt very like natural and like not scary to me.
Yeah.
Whereas like doing stuff with a guy, like I just didn't really like want to.
Yeah.
But then like I said, it was very coercive, and it was definitely just like shitty and confusing.
Yeah.
As a teen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, at one point when I was dating him, I had like told him about my one friend that I would, you know, have sleepovers with, and, you know, we would fool around. And he was like, "Oh my God, that's so hot." But you can't do that now that you're dating me. And I was like, "What?"
You're like, it doesn't
Like,
count.
You think it's hot, yet you get, but whatever. So he was like, "You can't do that now that you're dating me." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, okay.
It's just a fun thing we do.
Yeah, no, like, I totally won't." Like, I'm going to have a sleepover with her, and he's like, "Yeah, like, please don't do that." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like, would never. What do you think I did?" Like,
Little gay girl.
and then, like, I remember, it's honestly a miracle that I didn't, like, wake up her mother or something, because I remember, like, going down into her living room and being, like, crying and, like, calling him and being like, "I cheated on you. And he was, like, so sad. He was, like, crying. Oh my God.
Not laughing about the cheating, kind of laughing about the
Okay,
cheating.
I'm only laughing about the cheating because he was an asshole. And
it's high school, and also it's you figuring
it's high
your sexuality
school,
out.
but I think that, like, he knew better. He should have known better.
Yeah.
I
mean,
don't
if you
know.
told him, at least you didn't like completely hide the fact that it had
Well,
never
no,
happened.
I mean,
or whatever.
I told him.
He
that-
knew it was
because,
a possibility.
I mean, that's the way that I am. Like, if I do something like that, like, I couldn't have kept that in and, like, slept at night. It would have eaten me alive.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I told him, and he was, like, really, really mad. And then I baked cookies for him, and he forgave me.
Oh, all it took was some cookies.
But then we broke up, like, very soon after that.
Probably for the best.
For the best. So, anyways, then I go to college, my first college, which, I mean, I was just kind of a train wreck. Like, I was coming from being so sheltered and homeschooled,
Yeah.
and then I was just going to this very, like,
Party school.
party school, big school, and I mean, I think a lot of times when you're super, super sheltered and kept from doing things, like, kept from going out to a party or, like, being able to, like, you know, whatever, be trusted with small things in high school, then when you get to college, it's just, like, balls to the walls.
Yeah, whenever you constantly tell someone you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, and then finally they're able to do it, and then they do it, and then they realize, oh, that's not actually a big deal. Oh, that's actually really fun. Like, all these things. Yeah, people.
Yeah.
That's why I feel so bad for the sheltered kids. Not even in a religious way, but even just the overprotective parents. I feel bad for them because they generally are the ones that, like, kind of go wild.
Yeah.
And, like, can't control it because
And
they've been, like,
and
so
I did.
stifled. Yeah.
Yeah. I went cuckoo crazy. That's not super relevant to the story.
Crazy.
But I will say, like,
That's funny.
whenever my friends and I would, like, maybe, like, pregame in our dorm, or, like, sometimes we would just have, like, a little chill wine night in our dorm, I feel like so many times I would get, like, a little tipsy, and I would be like, "Guys, like, I think I like girls." But it became like a running joke, because at one point I said it, and my friend was like, girl, you say this like every time we drink. Like, I don't really like.
Only when you're
you've
drinking.
told us.
Yeah.
Like, so like, what are you gonna like do something about it, or like what? And when I was at that school, unfortunately, I was like mostly pursuing dudes and like fooling around with dudes.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's what society tells you is normal. Like, oh,
yeah,
you're a
and
girl,
also
you like
I was
boys.
just really like just lost and like not super well when I was there. And I think that I when I think back, it's like I just wanted a guy to like choose me and be with me because like I wanted to feel chosen, but I also just didn't want to be alone. Like I felt so alone, and like there were a lot of like really dark moments that I just like felt like I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
And so I like really wanted a boyfriend, didn't get one.
Well,
but yeah, I definitely did my I definitely did my fair share of like fooling around. Only gay experience at that school was one time. There was this guy that I had kind of been like talking to, hooking up with, and I could not have been less interested in him. Like, he was just like a dude, and he was buying me alcohol.
Just like
I'll be so real. Like, he was 21, and so he would like get me alcohol. And that was kind of like the main draw. As much as it's like embarrassing to admit that.
I think
like,
that's a lot of college.
I think that's like a fairly
experience.
common experience. Anyway, so this guy, I think what had happened. Oh, no. One of my guy friends who lived in my dorm had been hooking up with this girl. And I hadn't met her until this one night. We ran into her when we were out. And so I met her. And I thought she was pretty. But she came up to me. And she goes, "Ugh, thank God. There's no gay girls at this school." And I was like, what? And it just like took me back to like, and I was like, what is it on my forehead? Like, because at this point I obviously like knew that I was bi, and like my close friends knew that I considered myself bi, but like I thought, and everyone around me thought, like, yeah, this is like this thing that I it's like a part of me, but I am gonna be with a guy. Like, I want to be with a guy.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, thank God, like there's no gay girls at the school." And I was like, like, okay. I was like, "Are you gay?" And she was like, "Well, I'm bi." And I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, like, me too." And she was like, "You're coming home with me tonight." Oh, she said, wait, I will reveal her name because this is such a common name, and like I literally haven't seen this girl in so many years. I will reveal it. Her name was Molly.
Yeah.
And she comes up to me and she goes, "I'm Molly, like the drug."
Yeah. You need to write a song about that story. Molly like the drug is like really funny.
That's brilliant.
Molly like the drug is good.
That's good. Oh my God. I think I still follow her on Instagram. I would probably DM her and be like, "Hey girl, you probably don't remember me at all, but one time you came up to me and said this, and then we hooked up in your dorm." Anyway, but yeah, so that night, like, I went home with her.
Wow.
And
your first like college sexual experience, like outside of the one girl or person that you were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. And that was like, it was an interesting experience. It was a one-time thing, but like she was chill. I just like, I don't know, it was just another one of those things that like happened, and I just kind of like forgot about it. I was like, well, it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I'm just
sometimes
a little bi girly.
Like hook up with girls, like, but it's like fun and cutesy, and like I'm like totally straight. So then after that, I went on my gap year because things did not work out at my first university. I was a hot mess, and after I like was home from college for like 2 weeks after my first year, and I just like started crying one day, and I was like, I can't go back. Like, I just like knew in that moment, I was like, I'm not going back. And so, yeah, just like decided to take a gap year and did some classes at community college, like get my grades up, and during that year, I was single. I wasn't really, there was one guy, ugh, I just remembered the most disgusting guy I ever hooked up with.
This is your coming out story. You don't have to include him.
I'm sorry. The iPad is on low battery, just so you know.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
Just in case comments came through.
Oh.
It's crickets.
Nobody's listening to this at all. It's just me getting to talk, which is fine.
It's really quiet in there.
So, sorry, I feel like I've been taking so long to get to the point. But I just
It's
feel
okay.
like having the context is important because to some people in my life, it was something that all of a sudden one day when I was like 20, 21 was just like a thing. But it had been a thing for me for a really long time. I just hadn't.
Yeah, they didn't know you were making out with your friend while drinking Franzia in the bedroom.
No.
At the sleepovers.
So anyway.
So after the drug, it's your gap year, you're home.
I'm on my gap year, and yeah, I had that one little thing with that guy, but there's this girl that I met at community college, and we were in the cafeteria at community college. Picture, this is like a really vivid picture. And she like comes up to my table and is like, "Is this seat taken?" Because she was French.
Oh.
And I was like, no. And so yeah, like she sat down with me, and I like made it my business to become her friend because I was like very attracted to her.
I made it my business.
But she had a boyfriend at the time.
At the
A
time.
boyfriend who still lived in France.
Oh, wow.
So a long distance boyfriend, but a boyfriend. And so we hung out like, you know, a handful of times. Like, all of my friends were kind of like at their colleges, so I didn't really have a whole lot of friends around at the time, and she didn't know a lot of people because she was from France. But anyway, yeah, so nothing ever happened between us because she had a boyfriend, but and she also didn't know that. I actually years later like told her.
Yeah.
Because whenever I came out and was like publicly like dating girls, she messaged me and was like, "Hey, like," because we've kept in touch like here and there.
Yeah.
And she messaged me and was like, "Hey, like, I was just curious, how did you know that like you liked girls? Because I've just been like feeling like maybe," and I just like told her because I was like, oh, like, well, because I told her kind of like, oh, you know, I've known for a while, but it's just been a journey, whatever. And I was like, I actually like really liked you.
Yeah.
Whenever we were, you know, spending time together. And she was like, I was not expecting this, but she was like, "Oh my God, you should have told me." And I was like, "Well, you had a boyfriend." And she was like, "That doesn't matter."
You really set that one up. I thought something spicy was gonna happen with the French girl.
No. Nothing did happen with her. But like we did have a sleepover one time, and I mean I was the only one feeling the tension, but I was like, "There's not tension," but like, yeah. But then when I told her, she was like, she literally was like, "Oh, you should have told me. Like we could have
fucked around,
done something."
Yeah.
And I was like, anyway, so
She's
that
like, you coulda
happened.
got it.
I had that like crush on her, and I also like became friends with some queer people that year and kind of learned more maybe about myself from like talking with them. So then over this year I have like applied and gotten into my second college, Belmont.
You're in Nashville.
So then I'm like preparing to move to Nashville. And I remember thinking, well, I'm starting fresh in this new city. I literally didn't know anybody except for the girl that I had like met who was going to be my roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, well, I could go into this new community and life like out as bisexual and like exist that way and like try dating girls, because that was the other thing on my gap year too. Like I think I went on like a couple Bumble dates. Like I tried.
Mm-hmm.
There was a really funny one that I went on. I won't get into that, but It was so
A
funny.
Belmont Bumble date?
No, it wasn't Belmont.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like in Maryland before I went to
Oh,
Belmont.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so I went like all the way into the city to meet her. And it
Like,
was
end of DC?
yeah.
Wow.
Anyway. But
Into the city.
yeah. So yeah, I thought about doing that, but then right before I moved there, I just got really scared because I had started to become really good friends with, and we're still friends to this day, the girl I was gonna live with.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, she is literally such a wonderful person and would never care about anybody's sexuality. But I just
But you
didn't
didn't
know
know her.
that at the time,
Yeah.
and I was scared, especially because it was a Christian school, and like I just didn't know what things were gonna look like.
You were still getting comfortable with it yourself, it seems like, too, like,
For
the
sure.
idea of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it makes sense that you didn't just, like, show up like, I'm a lesbian, guys!
No,
or...
for sure, but like I knew, like there were some people coming in that like did.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, I just got scared because I was scared of what people would think. I was scared that she would be uncomfortable like living in a room with me. So I didn't come out. And when I got there, I definitely had, it wasn't like my first school where I was like, I'm going to find a boyfriend. Like, I want a boyfriend. I did not want a boyfriend. I just wanted to like, but then it's always kind of the opposite. Like when you want something,
Yeah.
and then when you're not
when
looking
you're not
for
looking for
something,
it, it always finds you.
So pretty much immediately, like this guy in my friend group, that I had become pretty good friends with, like, I like knew that, I guess I knew that he liked me because like it was obvious, or like he had told one of our other friends, and I definitely liked him for sure.
Yeah.
Like loved him. Good person.
Yeah.
Anyway, I chose to jump into that relationship like right when I started school there. And I mean, it's not that I regret.
It's not like I
It's
regret
not
it.
like I regret it. I don't regret it. But I mean, I think overall, I wish that I would have just spent more time single in college as a whole. Like, girls or guys, I wish I would have just spent time single in college. Just focusing on myself and the reason I was at college in the first place.
Right.
And,
Yeah. I can relate on that, but...
I just spent a lot of time focusing on relationships and, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
No regrets. But, like, if I could go back, I definitely would choose to say, okay, I'm not actually healthy or mature enough to be in these relationships anyways. So let's just be single and, like, focus on
Everything
figuring out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I dated him on and off for like 6 months, and that ended, and then I went home for the summer. But I had made really good friends with a handful of girls that lived in my hall, and one of them was gay. And I remember, like, when I was first getting to know her, like, I didn't really know her, but I knew, like, some of the other girls a little bit, but I was in a room with her, and I think she said, like, oh, yeah, like, I'm gay, and when she said it, I was like, you're gay? And we talked about it later on, and she was like, I couldn't tell if you were, like, homophobic or if you were just,
Wait, is this
like...
Gracie?
Yeah. And,
That's funny.
And I was like, oh, no, I think I was just, like, so thrown off because I had never, like, been around, like, I had been around a lot of, like, curious people like myself and, like, I guess bisexual girls, but I had never been around a girl who was, like, confidently like, I'm gay.
Yeah.
And so I was like, whoa, that's, like, really cool, whatever. So we got to be really good friends, and that summer, like, summer after my first year there, I went and visited her, just as friends though.
Mm-hmm.
But then like end of that summer, I feel like the way that we were talking to each other just started to shift.
Yeah.
And I remember like right before going back to school, I was like talking to my friend and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Like, I don't know if I'm like reading into this or like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, no, I mean, once we like got back there, it was like pretty clear that we liked each other. But I was just really, I was so like scared
Yeah.
because I had like obviously fooled around with girls and whatever, but I had never even really considered for more than like a split second like dating a girl.
Right. You thought you were gonna end up with a man, but that you were just bi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had started to tell myself like for years that the only way I would ever come out to my family was if I was like in a relationship, like really liked a girl.
Yeah.
Um and so we we like started dating, and I'm honestly pretty surprised thinking back at how short of a time it took me to make the decision that I was going to like call my parents and tell them that.
Yeah. So it was a phone
Um
call.
yeah.
Mm.
Like I think that yeah, given my like people pleasiness,
Yeah.
I'm actually really shocked that I didn't like date her for a while
Yeah.
and
hide it.
then
Yeah.
tell them.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. Like it was like really quick after we started dating. I like called them and told them. I think I
Well, you were very, very close to your mom, so I'm sure there was
yeah.
that part of it. Like, I have to tell her.
Yeah. I guess so. I don't know. Um but when I told I guess my mom like responded a lot more chill than I thought she was going to, and so I was like pretty like pleasantly surprised and felt really good about that. Um I remember my stepdad was like, "Is she transitioning?"
Such a crazy question.
And I was like, no. She's a girl."
That's the point of us just being
And he
gay.
was like, "Oh, that's crazy cuz like you're straight." And I remember like that was really hurtful because the main thing that made like my coming out so hard was I was having some real mental health issues.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, when all this started, like I wasn't really, I was like doing okay. But then all of this, and then I also just think like my habits at that time, my mental health got really bad. And with the coming out stuff, it was like, I remember I started to, like, when I would wake up in the morning, it would be like this. Like, that's how I would wake up. Because I was so, like, stressed out all the time. Every second of the day, my mind was consumed with, like, am I bi? Am I gay? Am I straight? And it's so funny because I think if I had had someone older or someone that I could talk to that like wasn't coming from a Christian or homophobic perspective,
Yeah.
they could have just said to me like, "Hey, like why don't you just exist and see what happens? Like
Yeah.
you don't have to know in this moment what you don't even ever
I was
have
gonna
to
say
pick
ever.
a label.
Yeah, you really don't.
You don't have. I think that I just had such a deep fear, of even being out as bi and like dating a girl, and then later on realizing no, like I actually do want to, like for some reason I just had such a deep fear of that, and I was also biphobic as fuck. Like, I remember telling my roommate, like, I can't be bi. Like, people aren't bi. That's not a thing. Like, and she was like, it is. Like, it definitely is.
She's like, no bi erasure around here.
Yeah, no, literally. She's a queen for that.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, yeah, it definitely is. It's so
totally
weird
is.
how people just really, like, need there to be, like, a little box to put things. Like, this
I think
neat
it was
little
just
thing.
also,
It's like, who cares?
like, I think there were things that I was picking up on in, like, a lot of the queer people that I was witnessing at the time, where I felt like it was almost like a little bit of a competition of, like, who was
Who's
the
the
gayest. Which maybe that was in my head, but with some of the people
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a thing.
I was witnessing at the time, and I'm not talking about, like, the girl I was dating at the time.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, some of the people that she was surrounded by.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt like a competition of, like,
Yeah.
anywho.
I still think that that's a thing. I feel like there's a lot of weird energy sometimes.
I think it was
with
just,
people.
like, everybody figuring out who they were, and, like,
Yeah.
I
College
don't-
is an interesting
I don't know.
time, for sure.
It so is. So anyway, yeah, unfortunately my mental health was really bad, and I was, like, really, really unclear on a lot of things, and my mom and stepdad responded, like, well at first, but then, like, after about a week they called me back after they had, like, had some time to sit with it, and they were never angry at me or, like, hateful towards me. It was just, like, they were very concerned that this was where I was at, and they, I think, just, like, put a lot of pressure on me to really, like, run towards God and Christian input on the subject. And
Which is the damaging
I
as
just,
fuck.
yeah, like, it was really tough, because I always knew that they were coming from a good place. Like, they were
Well, of
doing what they were
course.
doing because they loved me, and they didn't realize, like, that it wasn't really great. But yeah, it was definitely really harmful to me, and obviously the relationship that I was in. And so because of that, like, I would, like, end the relationship, and then I would, like, initiate starting it back up again, and then I would end it again, because I was just so, like, I mean, it was like I was struggling so much, but I was also selfish, and I, like, wanted to be with her, but I just wasn't ready to be with her.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready to be with anybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, like, my first relationship, and when I actually came out to, or my first queer relationship, and when I actually came out to my family.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like that story is like a good example of how, like, if you aren't able to accept yourself and, like, be comfortable with yourself, you can, like, not do harm to others, but, like, it does make you, like, treat other people
Oh, yeah.
not well, like, just by not accepting yourself. So it's like the
Yeah.
best thing you can do is, like, I don't know,
Totally.
give yourself a break and just be like, whatever, like, I trust my gut, all that kind of stuff. So it's sad what, like, outside pressure too can do to make you, like, continue to question and like not contribute towards you feeling confident in yourself and who you were.
There was just so much at play, like, and it's nice to be telling this story now as opposed to, like,
On the other
2
side of
years
it.
ago.
Yeah.
Well, even, like, because, you know, my first girlfriend is one of our great friends now.
I know,
And
it's
her
so
girlfriend,
funny.
like, they're so amazing, and
I
we've
know.
been spending a lot of time with them recently.
And it's been great.
It's been so wonderful.
Yeah. So even though you gave her hella whiplash in college, we're still all able to be friends.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
I think everyone is. College is just so crazy. Like, honestly,
Yeah.
I would love to just talk about that. like our
It
college
is so
experiences on an
crazy.
episode because
you think you're
it's a weird
so
time.
like grown up and adult, and when I look back, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like that is mortifying.
You're just like
But-
in such a bubble. It's just such an interesting time. Like college to me is such a blur, but it like it's
Yeah.
I'm just glad it really almost exists to like get your partying out, try to figure out what you want
Yeah.
to do. Like it's like a I don't know. In either way, yes, it's lovely that like the person that you got to figure yourself out with at that time, like to not see each other for years and then now to be back friends and close and like
Yeah.
able to be in each other's lives in like a kind of like a special way that like is special in a totally different way than it was.
Mm-hmm.
Which is cool.
Totally. Yeah, so I mean that was kind of that, I guess.
So they took a week, processed it, came
Mhm.
back, were not pleased with like a gay daughter.
It was basically like, I think that they were so shocked in the moment when I told them that they just kind of like went, because it wasn't, when I told them, like,
But they may not have believed
genuinely
you. Yeah.
I was like so pleasantly surprised that I was confused.
How did you say it? Like, were you so nervous? Were you like,
Yeah, like I was really nervous, but I think I just ultimately realized that like I said, when I think about it now, I'm shocked that I didn't wait longer to tell them.
yeah,
But I think I was just so close to my mom that I felt like I couldn't, there's no way I could be dating someone and keep it from
and her
her.
not know? Yeah, and I think that's fair. I think that's cool that you told him so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, I think it's cool too, I guess, but
Well, it's cool that
just
you like.
surprising, I guess, but
It's cool that you felt comfy too. Obviously, that kind of had a little bit of a backfire, but still, like,
here's
you
the
did the
thing,
right
though,
thing. Like, you came
I
out.
didn't anticipate them being on board with it.
Yeah, which
like,
is kind of sad in
Like, I didn't
itself.
anticipate that, and so I think what made it so challenging was that when I initially told them, I got such a great reaction. Like, it wasn't like they were like, oh my god, we're so happy, but it was like, well, from what I remember, it was like, wow, like I didn't see this coming, but like, thank you so much for telling us. We love you no matter what.
Yeah.
And I just remember it being like a really brief but very just like gentle and generally supportive conversation. And then like a week later,
I know that
called
almost
me
makes
back.
it tougher. Like it's
No,
that's another
that
whiplash.
was
Like
what,
that's harder to go through than that
because
to be the
from what
immediate
I
reaction.
remember, like after getting that reaction, when I first when we like first started dating, I don't think that the mental health was like that bad yet. But once I had told my parents and then they came back to me with like all of this stuff,
Yeah.
that's when my mental health started to like really go down.
Well, yeah. Imagine you're like, oh my god, I'm in the clear. That went so much better than I could have ever
and
imagined.
so for
and
like a
then being
week,
like,
I think,
"Psych."
you know, I had told them and they knew and there didn't seem to be a problem, and I was like still, you know, I don't know. But anyway, once they like got like called me back and were like, hey, so like we actually have more to say about this and we're really really concerned about this, and I do remember like saying some things to my mom and kind of thinking initially that she didn't buy it, but and my stepdad didn't buy it. But like he does now. It's all good, but like he didn't buy it. He like
believes you
literally just
now.
didn't buy it. But my mom was like, "No, I absolutely believe you, because I don't think that you would." I can't remember how she phrased it, but it was like, I don't think that you would ever like
tell us this,
try
something
this
this devastating.
or tell us Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
if there wasn't truth in it for you.
But also, like, yeah, why would anyone... Ugh. There's so many ways you can respond to someone coming out, and there's so many right ways, wrong ways. It's
Yeah.
tough, but, like, we all respond
I mean, it's
poorly to things. It's a
Yeah.
bummer when it comes to, like, someone telling you who they are and then coming back to them with, like, yeah, no. It's like, oh, that's disrespectful as fuck. But you were young, and
Yeah,
it's just
for
tough.
sure.
And yeah, getting caught off guard with something would be,
Yeah.
you respond in ways. But I'm just like, you want to, like, shake people and just be like, no. No.
Oh, also, one thing that I didn't include that I feel like I should, the guy that I dated my first year at Belmont,
Mm-hmm.
he was the first guy that I actually slept with and the
Yeah.
only guy that I ever slept with.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it was bad, but what I noticed, like, it was like the first time, we had sex like 3 times. It was like
Yeah.
the first, like, it's not gonna be like great, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I was like, oh my god, that was horrible. But what I remember is like, I was like thinking about conversations that like I would hear my friends having about like sex and stuff. And I remember my mom always telling me when I was younger, whenever she would talk to me about like waiting until marriage to have sex, saying like, you know, once you have sex with someone, it's really hard not to do it again. So you just don't even do it in the first place, kind of deal.
Mm.
And so after I had like had like I just didn't after I wasn't with him anymore, I just didn't find myself feeling like I want to have sex with another guy. Like
Yeah.
I want to try it out with another guy, like see how it goes.
Yeah.
But then like after I just wanted to have sex with girls. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to have sex with girls. And it just, like, took me a really long time to be like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But, like...
Yeah. That is one way to find out, yeah, if you do that a few times and
Yeah.
you're not like, yeah, let's keep doing that.
Right. But anyway, so, you know, dated my first girlfriend, and we were very on and off because of my mental health and whatever. And then eventually, like, that was fully ended for the moment. But the difference
For the moment.
the difference in that was like after that relationship was ended, I noticed like in the first several weeks after I had like gotten over the initial like damn, this is like really over kind of deal.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I want to have sex.
Yeah.
Like I like want to. So it just like
I'm
struck
trying to
me as
fuck.
like very different because it was like I don't know. I didn't feel that
It
way.
was a whole new world.
And also, I don't know, like, can I say anything on this live stream? No one's watching.
Yeah, no one's watching.
Well, I think one thing too is like in terms of like giving.
Yeah.
I was like, I think
Where's
that
this going?
no, all I'm saying is that like I'm like
You'll get there.
yeah.
You got it.
I think I didn't realize that you were like supposed to feel like generally turned on when you
Well-
were like giving
Yes.
sexually. So then after like having a relationship with a girl, I was like, oh, like okay, this is like different than because
The
obviously
chore
like,
that is.
going down on a guy is like fucking disgusting. I don't care what you say, it is.
That's her personal preference.
I'm
if you
sorry,
like it,
I didn't
that's
mean to
okay.
be
I love that for you.
penophobic,
We all
you
have our
guys.
preferences.
I'm sorry, you guys. That was really not cool of me.
It's okay.
That's just not what I'm into. And so, anyway,
But that's
Yeah.
an interesting realization to have, to be like, oh, it's not supposed to feel like a chore when I'm like
Yeah.
giving, when I'm pleasuring my partner. It should
Yeah.
also be like hot.
well, and also like, just in general, like, I what, like, whether giving, receiving, whatever, like, I should feel turned on during sexual stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so.
Yeah, that was a big sign for me, was just the difference between sex
like,
with a man
is
versus
it
a woman.
Wet down there?
Like, that's what that feels like?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Can't wait for your coming out.
Yeah, well, we'll tell mine next week, but
Yeah.
mine kind of exists on the internet. I've told it before,
That's true.
but mine
Yeah, but yours is really fun.
Yeah, I was older, so
Mine's kind of just, like, long and stretched out and, like, sad.
yeah, it unfortunately is kind of sad, which mine has sad parts, but
It's okay. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been so much worse.
for sure.
But I definitely, like, wish that it had been better. For sure.
I think your mental health also wished it could have been better.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your brain was
It
like,
was not...
that could have gone better.
I mean, it was, like, to the point at that time frame, and then eventually, like, I think winter break of that year, I went to the doctor and, like, got medicated, and then it did get better.
That's good.
But, what was I gonna say? Shit. I don't know.
Oh, we were just talking about how it could have gone better, but no, I was just gonna say, because obviously I have heard said story. We've talked about both of our experiences on many occasion, but so you were like, you kind of found yourself surrounded by lesbians, basically, like once.
I wouldn't say surrounded by, because those were her friends.
But that's what I mean. Like you could now like look out and be like, oh, look at all those gay people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it wasn't
I will
like
say for sure. I had never like been around lesbians, and then I met her the one year, and then the following year, like all of a sudden, she had like all of these lesbian friends.
Yeah. Like that's what I always wonder with my stories. Like if I had found myself like befriending a queer person and then starting to hang out with them and like being surrounded like lesbian specifically, like I was around some gay men in college, but like yeah, I don't know, it just is I think that helps, like, because you get to witness it and not feel
other
like
other people, and like also too just obviously like witnessing gay women who were more feminine presenting.
Yeah.
And like the way that they dressed or presented didn't have anything to do with who they were attracted to, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the representation is important because there's definitely a certain depiction. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Come here, girl. The Frank is in here.
I remember after, like, later down the road, when I was doing a lot better with being out, and at this point I was dating my ex, my second queer relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I was like wanting to, I remember that like when I met them, they had like shared something online when they had came out that felt like a really, for lack of a better word, like tasteful and like meaningful little post that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like a desire to do something like that.
Oh, did you?
No.
Oh.
I wanted to.
Did you? No.
I wanted to, but I was
You didn't feel
talked out of it. Yeah.
Talked out of it by who?
Who do you? My mom. But which, to be fair, like I went to her and asked her what she thought about it. So, and she told me her thoughts. So.
That is new information that I've never heard before.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a... Yeah, I just remember that happening. But...
How long after you came out did you have that conversation? What, like, how much time passed?
I came out in, I think, September or October of 2019. And that would have been in, like... spring of 2020. So not a crazy long time,
But still,
but like a little while.
babe, you should make a coming out post. this June.
I'm gonna work on an Instagram post right after this. I'll share it tomorrow.
I'll tell more of the story whenever it's my turn, but like I did make a coming out post, but I only did it because my brother is like a homophobic piece of shit, and I did it as like a
Out of spite.
as a fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So in like it's so I don't how do I go about saying this? Like
Hey, girl.
queer people when they come out unfortunately do have to like have their experiences affected by the people around them, and like the people that are around them can completely make or break the experience and
Yeah.
like make it a good or even neutral. Like at a bare minimum it should be a neutral experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it should just be, oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
And like whether it's like, oh my god, like I love that for you, or like disgust, like obviously the responses are a spectrum, but it is interesting that a huge part of our identities or realization in life like can be like so affected by the people around us.
Yeah. Yeah, one part that I left out that we were actually talking about with Gracie and Aaron the other night was like shortly after I came out to my parents
Yeah, you have to tell this.
and my car started having problems. And
This makes me so
it was
sad
an old
for young
car.
you.
It was my stepdad's old car that he had given to me. It was a great car, but it was an older car and it was started having some problems. But like crazy problems. Like it would stall when I was at red lights. And I would have to restart the car like all the time. It was
Like
really crazy.
that's scary.
It was really scary. And I kept it for so long after that, and it would like do it for like a few weeks and then it would stop for a few months. And then it would do it. It was weird. Anyway, that started happening for the first time right after I came out. And so for me, and another element too, like I was not super familiar with myself and how my brain works at that time. So we've got the layer of like neurodivergency, we've got the layer of poor mental health and like unmedicated
mental health.
and then we've got the layer of like, you know, the religion, the Christianity of it all. And yeah, I literally thought that my car was having problems. Like I was afraid that it was true, that my car was having problems because God was like punishing me essentially. And that is so
Which was
silly,
confirmed by
and
people around you. It's like, maybe
laugh about it now, obviously it's funny, but at the time it was so real and it felt so like it wasn't just my car's gonna have problems. It felt like if I keep going down this path, my life is like I'm going to suffer, I'm going to be punished, there's going to be
so you basically, at that point, anything that went wrong in your life, you were like, it's because I'm gay, or it's because I came out.
I mean,
like,
I
as a
don't
punishment.
know if it was like anything that went wrong, like not like the little tiny things, but like I guess I did generally think that like this is just the beginning of like bad things that would potentially happen to me because I'm choosing to be with another woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so crazy.
Which wasn't like shut down by the religious people in your life, which doesn't help. And
yeah, like it kind of, the response was like, I don't believe that God punishes people, but at the same time, like this could be the case. Like it was just kind of like open-ended. And so to me, I'm like, well, then you're basically, yeah, like you're saying that this is.
Which to me, the interesting part about that too is like, if I'm like learning that about a religion that I'm a part of or whatever, it's just like, why would I want to be a part of this? Like, this God who will punish me if I'm not like pleasing him. It's just like really interesting. Like, I don't that icks me out. Truthfully. Like,
I mean, yeah.
I'm not
But
on this earth
it's
to like
so
please a
interesting,
narcissist
and
man.
we're getting like off track, but this is such an interesting point to me always. Like it when you when I look at it zoomed out, there is so much that feels really contradictory because it's
Oh
like
yeah. Agree.
it's like you're being taught that God doesn't punish people, and also you can't get into heaven based on your actions. Like you can't get into heaven just based on good acts. But at the same time, if you do things that are considered not good acts, then and you don't like repent and like cease to do those things, then you also like won't get into heaven.
I mean it. Yeah, I don't know that we want to get into the religion talk,
That's a
but it's
whole-
literally
yeah.
clearly so written by just a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Personal opinion.
Anyway, so
Yeah, so you just had a lot going on that makes me
a
sad
lot
for
going
little
on.
you.
I had like did a lot of unpacking of I think that time frame this year,
Yeah.
and I just had so many moments where I would be like thinking of small moments with someone else or with myself like in that time frame, and just feeling like, oh my gosh, I wish I could like walk into her room right now and just like talk to her
Yeah.
and give her a hug.
Oh,
'Cause she was
sweet.
Yeah, because I was just so like I was just so lost and
Yeah.
had so much hurt, like, and
Yeah.
yeah, it should have been something that maybe wasn't necessarily like easy, but was a
Neutral.
good thing, a happy thing, like
Or at a minimum, just neutral.
just neutral, just a normal life thing.
Bare minimum,
Yeah.
neutral.
And it felt like the biggest thing in the fucking world.
And it's tough to just at that age, because once again, I'm going to tell my story next week, but I was older when I came out. Like, I was out of college. I was like 27, 28. So I was able to be
Yeah,
past
brain
that
was
point of
fully
my life.
developed.
Like,
yeah.
had, like, been in a marriage, and, like, just, like, the older you get, and, like, you do start to just know what you want and what's for you and what's not for you. And so that, while I do wish that young Heather had the experience in high school of, like, sneakily making out with a girl, you know, like, I wish that that was part of my story, but also I am glad that I figured out when I was older and was able to feel more confident in myself and to be able to, like, while maybe being, I don't know, like, struggling to put words to it at first, but still knowing, like, within myself, like this is, like, yeah, like, I'm definitely queer, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off, I guess. You get to have fun little make-out sessions with your girls in high school and struggle through. Or find out when you're later, but not that those are the only options, but it does seem like those are
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other little silly things that you've told me over the years about your coming out.
I know. I mean, honestly, in terms of my, I'm trying to think how to say this. Like, it was a really long journey in terms of, like, my family, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, that's the case for a lot of people. But,
yeah.
But yeah.
So I don't know.
It's
Once
an ongoing
I came
story.
out, I had come out, but it was just kind of like the whole thing of it was still just going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it can feel like it's like a separate part of your life, like your family and your, like, gay life.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that was definitely what it became, what it had to be.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, it's so interesting. So you went throughout your time gay. When did you have so you came out as bi, which is a very common thing. I think same. When did you
Honestly,
like say, oh yeah,
whenever-
that's not the case? I'm
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up lesy.
Well, so I had come out as bi to like friends in late high school and early college. And then when I came out to my parents, I don't remember if I came out as bi. It was more so just, hey, you know, my one friend, like,
Yeah.
actually we're
Sleeping together
dating
also.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
At least you couldn't get pregnant.
I made that joke to my mom once, and she just, like, much later, though. I made that joke about you
Yeah.
the first time we were going to stay with them, and she did not laugh. She did not say a word. And I was like, girl, just laugh.
It's
It's
okay.
funny.
It is funny.
Like, come on. So,
But like, when
what
did
was
you?
okay. So, when I came out to my family, I don't remember if I said, like,
Well,
I'm
no.
bi or I'm...
Not to your family. Like, when did you
No,
realize
I
like
know.
I'm actually not bi? Like, it's usually like a softer way to come out, like
Mhm.
to ease into queerness.
I think that
But it can also be what you remain. We're not against bisexual people here. I just want to make sure that that's
Oh,
clear.
yeah.
I'm just saying that for a lot of people, it does feel more comfy to be like, yeah, like I like both still. I just like now I like girls too or whatever. But so
I
that
think
can
that-
remain. Hey Frank, that can remain your sexuality.
Mhm.
I'm just saying for some people it's a gateway drug.
Well, it's a gateway drug, and I also just wanted to be a lesbian really badly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was like, dang, like, I wish I was just, like, fully gay.
That's
but-
so funny.
But then it was kind of like, as time went by, I was like, oh, like, I am. I think I just, like, am.
It's funny that you had that thought because you didn't express like loving sexual acts with men. So it's funny that you're like, I wish
It
I was a
wasn't about-
lesbian.
that was the thing. Like, for me, at first, I had a really hard time. Like, I remember telling one of my friends this probably when I was around, like, 19. Because she was telling me at the time, this girl, she was like, I consider myself homosexual, but I can't remember what she said. She was basically saying that no. What she was saying is that she was bisexual, but she
Okay.
was homo-romantic. So she didn't have emotional feelings for guys.
Oh, gotcha.
And I remember telling her, I
Homo-romantic.
think I'm the opposite. I think I, like, am very much, like, sexually attracted to women,
Mhm.
but I think I have, like, romantic feelings for guys.
You thought you were the opposite at the time.
Yeah.
At the time. Okay.
This was when I was, like, 19.
I thought you were saying now. I was like, we have a problem.
No, this was when I was, like, 19. And
We're gonna need to cut the stream, babe. We need to chat.
no. This is, like, sorry. To clarify, this conversation was way before
No,
any of the stuff that I just talked about.
I know. I was just.
But it was, like, it was around the time, it would have been, like, right before, no. It would have been right around the time that the French girl situation was happening.
Okay.
No, don't steal my... And I say the French girl, like, I didn't care about her at all. She has a name. I'm not just gonna, like...
Yeah, no, there's no
But,
need to
like-
give names.
But, like, she's a lovely girl. And, yeah. I
Why
hope that
are
we
y'all
get to
doing
go
that?
to Paris eventually so we can see her.
Yeah.
Because
Hey,
I feel like we would
girl.
totally meet up if we were in Paris.
Remember community college when you came up to me in the cafeteria?
Yeah.
Iconic of her to do that. Is
I mean,
the seat
she
taken?
wasn't hitting
You
on
should have
me.
been
I
like,
think she just needed
by
a
you.
seat.
Whenever she was like, is this seat taken? You should have been ready with like a, yeah, by you. Or like, it is now.
Yeah. I don't really think that was, like, my vibe.
Yeah.
But, okay.
See, I would
So-
disagree. I would think that, because sometimes you like to be like, I don't know, when we first
Not
were dating.
at that phase.
Yeah, I guess I'm talking about the current day you.
Yeah. Anyway, so, I think that once I was medicated. And then I think what really made me realize is like I just had so much anxiety in that first relationship that I just genuinely was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
But then once I was medicated and I wasn't in that relationship, when I was single, I realized I'm only interested in pursuing girls
Yeah.
or non-men at this point. Like, that was when I really realized, like, I don't really need to pick a label, but if there is one, I don't really think that I feel like I'm bisexual, because I just realized now that I've been in a relationship with a woman, I don't have a desire to be in another relationship with a man, at least not right now. So I basically was just like, yeah, I'm gay, and then went forward and still, like, had room in my brain for that fear of, like, what if I realize I was wrong? What if I change my mind? And, like, at a certain point, I just realized, like, that's not gonna happen.
But there's also no change
and also,
in your mind.
like, if it does...
Yeah, it's just, like...
I don't know. To me, like, just a lot of internalized homophobia.
Unfortunately,
and, like... Yeah.
And, I mean, you're young, but...
Which I don't, like... I don't know. Anyway.
No, I was mainly curious, like, when... them fighting off screen is crazy.
Guys!
When you started being comfy with, like, coming out to people as just, like, gay or lesbian, as opposed to, like, being like, oh, yeah, I'm bi.
No, that would have been...
Like, after... Like, were you in college or were you out of college at that point?
I was in college.
Okay.
I would
So you got there
say,
fairly
like,
quick.
okay, for instance, beginning of the pandemic, when I met, Bridget and Rihanna,
Yeah.
I remember that we were hanging out outside of work for the first time, and we were just, like, getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And people were asking about, like, dating relationships, and I was like, oh, well, like, my ex, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, like, is he yada yada? And I was like, oh, well, she's a girl, actually.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay. And they were... So, I don't know. I think at that point, I pretty much was like... I don't know that I was saying gay or lesbian, but I was indicating, like, no, yeah, I'm not interested in
men.
In guys, because... Yeah.
Just
That
not
ship had
interested in
just
men?
sailed. Like, I think I really... As much as it's, like, icky and I didn't think it at the time, like... It was really just a very, like, heteronormativity, in search of male validation and, like, being chosen, I guess. It wasn't about attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, I think my high school boyfriend, I will say, I do still think that, like, I mean, I don't really know what he looks like now, but...
You think he's attractive? Is that what you're saying?
Like, I think he's cute, yeah.
Yeah, I find men to be
but
attractive. I just
also,
know that
they are
never be with one again.
also probably definitely queer.
That's
So that
funny.
makes a lot of sense too.
But yes,
I always
queer
did
people
like
are always
a
like
fairly
drawn.
feminine man, I have to say.
Well, I just think queer people are just weirdly also drawn to each other. Like this one is just coincidence, but like my 4th grade boyfriend is gay.
Yeah.
And
But
I
is
feel
it
like
coincidence?
maybe not.
I don't know.
But I do feel like I just want you to cuddle. I do feel like
Yes.
we're like drawn to each other out there, but yeah, so you got through it. You came out.
Oh my god. I got
So
through
I just
it.
realized we didn't turn on the lamp. I'm gonna turn it on now. You continue
Okay.
on.
Yeah. I got through it, and now I'm out
That's better.
and proud.
She's out. She's proud.
And
She's
now,
a lesbian.
like, it just feels so obviously normal to me at this point, to where it used to be just something that, like, it was constantly on my mind, even once I wasn't anxious about it anymore. Because I eventually got to a point where I was, like, more comfortable with it, and I felt confident about it, and I felt, like, almost a little bit cool about it.
Yeah.
But even so, it's still always on my mind, like, still thinking about, like, how am I how am I presenting, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Just whatever. And
Yeah.
now I don't really think about that at all. Now I'm just like a girl.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl who
I'm just a
happens to
girl
be gay.
with another girl, and
Yeah.
that's
I'm just a girl
all
with,
it is.
with my girl.
Yeah. And
funny.
also too, now most of our friends are lesbians. So we just
We
kind
really
of like live
don't-
in this little lesbian world.
We're
that's
in a
just
bubble.
Beautiful.
I would say
We have a
Aside-
handful of male friends, and we have a handful of straight friends and bisexual friends. But like, I would say like the majority of our friends are gay women.
yes, just queer people for sure.
Well, yeah,
but
okay, yeah.
yeah, I know, like, we've got, like, besides our parents, like, it's just funny, like, to think out, like, there's not a ton of like fully straight people that we spend a lot of time with. Like, we're drawn to each other. We flock
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to make judgments on here, but I do love having mostly queer friends.
Agree.
I would have it no other way.
Agree.
Wow.
I like sometimes we'll be chatting with girls at work
Mhm.
about the guys at work or like guys they're dating, and I'm just like,
Rough.
I can't even, I'm so far from this world that I can't comprehend what you're going through, but I'm standing in solidarity with you.
Yeah, it would, yeah, the stories you hear, you're just kind of like, wow, the bar is definitely on the floor.
Well, the bar's on the floor, and also just like, it seems as though men are just so dumb. This girl
Mostly.
that I work with was telling
Not
the
all.
story. She's been dating this guy, and it's like fairly new, and she seems kind of on the fence about it. But she was telling the story of how he came over to her apartment and was like eating, I think, soup on her couch, and he like spilled it all over himself. And she was like, I just like was so annoyed and so icked out. She's like, I literally had to go like wash all his clothes.
She's like, he spilled his soup.
But that's like so fair for her to be icked out by that though. Like,
What if when
He
we started
spilled
dating,
soup.
I spilled my soup?
that's different.
How?
You're a woman. Ow, my hip.
She's biased.
So, anyways, I guess how can we wrap this up?
yeah, any more thoughts on coming out? That you came out in 2019.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
The year before me. So you just lived up to 2019 next week. We'll start in 2020. I was a COVID realization. Well, I had realized it a little bit before, but that's when it all came to a head.
It's funny because maybe you were like having the first inklings of it whenever I was actually coming out.
Yeah.
And then
And that's what was sending shockwaves through
that's,
the air to me.
and you
You were putting out your scent, trying to draw me in.
were putting out pheromones
You were bringing
that
me
I was
closer.
already sensing.
It is funny to think about, and this is not even a queer thing, just with anyone, but it is funny to think about, because we were both in Nashville, like, if we ever crossed paths in some way. Were we ever at the same restaurant at the same time,
Yeah.
same concert, the grocery store, like, bar?
Well, I know we were at one concert together, right?
Well, I was already out, but we were both at, no, I
Yeah.
wasn't out. No, I wasn't out. The
at
Maggie Rogers.
I was at that show with Gracie.
Yeah, I was at that
Yeah.
show not with my husband because he just, like, wouldn't go to that show.
But you
with me.
weren't out.
I wasn't out. I was still
Okay.
married.
Yeah. So we were in that same vicinity together.
For all we know, we were in the same row.
I remember, I think that we were potentially behind the pole.
Were you okay? I was
On
close
the
to a pole.
floor.
On the floor, same.
On the
When you looked at the
if this
stage.
is the stage, we were on this side.
Oh, I was more like center-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, do you have photos from that concert? Let's compare our photos.
I highly doubt I have photos from that concert, but
Babe, you gotta keep your memories.
I know.
I'm kidding when it comes to a concert photo,
doing
though.
better with it, though. I've been, like,
Gotta save
loosely
your stuff.
organizing my photos and making sure I keep everything. Okay, well, so next week we're doing your coming out story in 2 weeks, right?
I think either next week or the next.
Okay, either next week.
Probably next week.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think next week. And then, yeah, the call-ins.
Yeah, and then week after that, we are going to do another episode where we phone several friends.
That was really, really fun.
It was
especially
really
because
fun.
we didn't tell anyone what the question was or anything like that. And I
Yeah.
think we want to do it the same.
Yeah.
I think we're going to save
Should we
the
tell
episode
them, not
maybe
right
next.
now, but, like, should we tell our friends ahead of time the
I-
title?
I almost don't want to tell them.
Okay.
And then just be like,
Yeah.
like, we'll just say you can plead the fifth if you don't want to, because, like, we don't get views, like, we get, like, 50 views.
Right.
So, but it's up to them if they want their response to live in a live stream on the internet. But when we ask the question, they can just be like, yeah, you're not getting anything from me on this. Like,
Yeah.
and that's totally fine.
I don't
I
feel
understand.
like it's that invasive of a question, though.
It's
for this
not
type of for this
invasive.
day and age.
It shouldn't be invasive, and that's why we want to
But
talk about it,
can
because
see
I wish
some
people talked about it
just
more.
like feeling like uncomfortable with talking about that on the internet. So that's so
Right.
fair.
Right.
So,
So
we'll see.
that's something to look forward to.
Oh my
But yeah,
gosh,
we're
cats are
hoping
going crazy.
to do a phone a friend like once a month, because it's kind of fun to like bring people in.
I feel like our friends are gonna start to get really annoyed. Like, ugh,
Again.
here's Sydney and Heather calling again.
Well, we have friends now, so we have enough
Yeah.
people that we don't have to call
We
the same
don't
people
have to
every
call
time.
the same people every time.
Because we got off that last one, and we were like, oh my god, we didn't call this person. Like, we
Yeah.
literally, like, once we got off, we were like, oh, there's so many people that we didn't call that we could have.
I think we'll call some of the same people this time, but then we'll also call some
Throw
new
some of the
people.
newbies in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also need to put together the results from the first one. So maybe those will be
Yeah.
presented at that
At
episode.
that, we should start out with that. Yeah.
Y'all, it has been crazy. It has been so hectic. Just spinning plates constantly.
Well, the ice storm just really threw everything off, and I mean,
just my work has
January
been
and
crazy, too.
February are just kind of hard to like.
Well, we've been locked into. Have we talked about how we're doing the 12-week clean? We don't have to go into
I don't
to depth because
know.
we're
I
wrapping
can't
up, but
remember if we've talked about
we
it,
are
but-
cleaning the shit out of our home right now, one room at a time. And we're like
Yeah.
halfway through. Well, we're however many weeks we are into the year, we're like on track.
We just have way too much stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
we're obviously keeping a lot of that stuff, but we're organizing it in a much better way that makes sense, because I
Yeah.
mean, every single room we've done, we've just looked at each other and been like, what have we been doing? Like,
Literally.
we have way more space. We're just
Yeah.
not, we've just have things thrown in places.
Yeah, once you gather like things together and like give them a home and know where they are, I'm also making it a point to touch every single item that we have in this house. So like when we do a room, like aside from like maybe your clothes, whatever, taking them off, but like
You haven't touched this item yet.
want to change
Not
that?
true. You have.
I was about to say since when, like before we started streaming. Yeah, it just feels really nice to know every item that's in your house. It's very eye-opening, so you know you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
And we've basically just been like gathering everything that we're either on the fence on or needs a home into just this pile of organized chaos. And then that way when we get kind of to the last space, we then have this pile to say, okay, like, do we just say see ya?
Mm-hmm.
So it just feels good because every space, once it's gotten done, has been so much more organized, and like, because our house gets overwhelming sometimes when things start to pile up. So that stops 12 weeks into the year.
Yes, and just like new goals and relationship with thrifting and
Only allowing ourselves to go like
Yeah.
once or twice a month instead of once or twice a week.
and just being like so picky about what we do buy
I feel like we've
when
been
we
doing
go.
good this year.
Yeah, I think we've been doing good with that.
Yo, we have gone estate selling one time, and that was today.
Today.
And thrifting like a couple times. Not many.
Thrifting, I think twice.
Yeah. I am very impressed.
Which is great because, I mean, February is going to be over before you know it. So I don't think we'll go thrifting again until March.
Girl, are we serious?
What is she doing?
They're
Oh my
playing with
God.
the cords.
Stop. Okay, I think it's time to wrap up.
Wait, let me.
It's already 10 o'clock. You're exhausted.
That was really crazy. The miso is pouncing.
I want to
But yeah.
see more of what's gonna. Oh my God. I want to go watch more straight people on Love is Blind.
Yeah, we're going to go watch Love is Blind. Thank you for tuning in to our probably one viewer, if even. Me on the iPad. I'm just kidding. It's dead. If you are there, thanks.
If you're there
We s-
in a few days from now, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. But yeah, I'll tell you all about my coming out experience
I can't
in
wait.
a week. We're back. Hopefully we're back. We're trying to do this weekly, but we're also like if shit is just not happening, then we're letting it not happen also. So,
Yeah.
we pieced out for a couple weeks, but we're back until we're not.
We're back until we're not.
But this is much easier, like
We
we've
both
talked
have
about in past
jobs,
episodes.
And we both have creative projects that we are investing time into, so.
Yeah, which if you're new, that's why we're live streaming. We used to do these episodes like filmed, edited, posted weekly, but I don't have the bandwidth. We really don't have the bandwidth to do anything but just like live stream it, and
Yeah.
that way we get to like fill this cup of like enjoying doing this and like sharing and it not be too time consuming. So, okay, well, let's go watch Love is Blind.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for telling us your coming out story and being vulnerable.
Thanks for listening.
Excuse me. You guys. Oh, well, we definitely better end it because they're like chewing on the cord, so there's
Alright,
probably
yeah.
crazy noise coming. So,
See you
cue our little
soon.
song.
Thank you.